This episode, I chose the DVD, I Am Legend. This movie stars Will Smith as Robert Neville, a military scientist in the year 2012 in the ruins of New York City, who is the lone survivor of a biochemical disease that was supposed to try to cure cancer 3 years previous. With only bloodthirsty zombies as his neighbors and his trusty dog Samantha, Smith is trying to discover a cure for this disease and to find other people who might have also survived. To be honest, when I first saw this movie, I didn't think I was going to like it, because I thought it was going to be very much like another movie I've seen called 28 Days Later. But then I realized this movie was different. Although the plot may be similar, this movie was all about a performance. And that performance was given by Will Smith. Will Smith took this movie from what potentially could have been a movie where you didn't have any name actors, like other movies in its genre, from like a B- to a C+ movie, took it all the way up to an A-level movie. Many times in this movie, he was the only person on screen, had to do a lot of solo acting, but it only enhanced the movie as opposed to taking away from the movie. That's why this is my DVD pick, and it is a bonanza. Alright, now Russell, you have a DVD pick for us as well.
I sure do, Patrick. My DVD pick is Into the Wild. Emile Hirsch stars in a production called Into the Wild, which is a story based off of true events. Now, Christopher McCandless was an Emory University graduate in 1992, and what he did was he decided to clear out his entire life savings of $24,000 and donate it to a great cause. And after doing that, he decided to, pretty much his goal was go north to Alaska. So McCandless, portrayed in this movie, thought it best to experience life for all that it's worth and to get to the core of humanity. This movie truly motivates and is heart-wrenching, full of heart and, most important, life lessons. So for me, with all this emotionally impactful scenes, it was really good, historically accurate context, and it brought in a great new array of actors. It was really, really good for me. So for this, I'm giving it a bonanza.
And that actually makes a lot of sense, because you're such an emotional guy. That would make sense that you would like this movie.
Absolutely. You ladies out there, let me tell you.
He's single.
Mm-hmm. And now it's time for our
Big Bonanza Bust. This is the time of the show where we pick one of the worst movies that we've seen. And this episode, we chose Spider-Man 3. This is the third installment of the franchise that features the familiar Peter Parker character, but this episode, we have some new villains. Venom, the Sandman, the New Goblin, and ridiculously and tragically, himself. You know, Russell, I think we were really set up with Spider-Man 1 and 2 to really enjoy this movie, but it didn't live up to the hype.
I wholeheartedly agree, Patrick. I feel that with this movie, the producers definitely just wanted it to be a capitalist move to get as much money as they could. I feel that with the other two movies, they did a very good job, and with this one, they just did it half-heartedly and really lost sight of what this movie really should have been about.
Or what the whole franchise is about, really.
Absolutely.
And you know, I tell you, in a regard, they did make money. They made $336 million in U.S. theaters. But I would have to say that for the producers, it really was a disappointment, because Spider-Man 2, for example, made $373 million. Well, and you know, one of the things the reasons why I think it didn't really connect with the audience is because, for example, there's this ridiculous scene in the movie where Peter Parker is in a bar doing some sort of dance. What was that about?
It was ridiculous. I mean, actually, with that being in the movie, it really just stripped away what Spider-Man is completely about, and I feel that with that, it was just a big comedic joke, and definitely portrayed a side of Spider-Man, or Peter Parker for that matter, that really does not capture the character in a nice lighting.
And you know, when I watch a movie like this, I often find myself wanting more, but the only thing that I wanted after watching this movie was my money back and the 139 minutes of my life back that I just wasted.
I completely agree, Patrick.
Let's hope, Russell, that they don't make a Spider-Man 4.
Yes.
That's why we're considering this the Big Bonanza Bust. that concludes this episode of Box Office Bonanza.
Thank you for joining us. I'm Russell Jones.
And I'm Patrick Moser, and we hope that your next trip to the box office is a bonanza. Giddy up!